me, I'm bunking deep in Tennessee with my brothers from the 3. We quick to click and break the peace. No respect for what they think.
Yo, what up, everybody? What up, YouTube world? It's your boy SBX coming with you with another wrestling talk, and I want to talk about AEW, basically All Elite Wrestling. I'm back on it once again, and I want to talk about how it's been doing these last few months based on promoting, AEW Dynamite, AEW Dark, and pay-per-views or whatever. So, the last pay-per-view, which was Revolution, I want to talk about everything as a whole, my pros and my cons, pros and cons, pros and cons, and pros and cons on All Elite Wrestling, based on every aspect, and anyways, I may do a video based on expectations on an AEW game, but that's going to be in the future. So I'm going to put that on my SBX channel for just gaming. So I'm just separating the difference between, my regular, rant and talk about whatever versus gaming, even though I throw rants and gaming talk one-on-one and all that. But, y'all get the drift. So, let's just talk about All Elite Wrestling, how I feel about it, So far, it impressed me in so many levels, I have this, it has a little bit of WCW memorabilia, maybe it's just because of seeing Tony Schiavone and other people who worked with WCW for the time being, and hardcore legends and stuff like that. Even though it's on TNT, which was WCW's broadcast channel when they want to promote wrestling, I'll say this: it's like AEW. It's like the resurrection, or not a resurrection, but it's more like a what's the word? Damn. But reincarnated version, that's the word, reincarnated version of WCW, a younger way of just promoting it. So anyways, I'm gonna tell you my pros about AEW. I'll say this: the wrestling is amazing. You have some great wrestlers like Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Hangman Adam Page, SCU, Nyla Rose, Riho, what else? Santana and Ortiz, Jake Hager, and Colt Cabana, which I'm surprised he made a debut. What else? and Big Swole, Shanna, Amy Sakurai, Sheeta, and Awesome Kong, and the list goes on. But what else am I gonna say? I like how they do their, I don't know if it's their way of calling it hardcore or elimination, not an elimination chamber, but just a street fight type of match. Well, anything that deals with tables, ladders, chairs, any type of objects or whatever. I like the impact of it. That's why I feel like I like the match. My favorite matches were between, like, a few between Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela, Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc match, the Cracker Barrel match. That was awesome. Anything that has some impact I like, with Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, Joey Janela, Darby Allin. They're very extreme when it comes to these matches. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. with their ladders match. That was good. Um, the cage match with Cody Rhodes versus Warlow. That was a great match. Um, what I can say is this: the matches are on point. Uh, the brand itself, the way how the logo looks is amazing. My favorite colors, black and gold, even though it got some gray or some white or silver or whatever, that's fine. Um, anyways, I love the fact that when they come to Newark, New Jersey, which I'm going to be there, so I may not be in front row about as much as I like to, but I'm going to be in AEW once they hit to Newark, New Jersey on the 25th. When the point where they're going to have their Bloods and Guts match, which is like NXT's War Games, but where they have like two rings and one cage or whatever. The way how it looks, the way how it sounds, Blood and Guts, it looks like there's going to be some blood. I don't know if it's going to be where they're going to hit people with chairs and tables and stuff like that. That's like something that you'll see in like a pay-per-view event. It will make sense, but at least it's good to see that. I don't have to watch it on TV. I'm gonna watch it on TV I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be good, but what I mean is that, just to remember how much not only I'm going to be there, but also too, I would like to see again, on TV, and that's something I will tell my friends, family, strangers who like wrestling, and even on YouTube, how I witnessed. So I'm going to definitely show it on YouTube. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike, but I would show how much awesome it's going to be. But anyways, back to the whole promotion of AEW. What I'm going to say, my cons on AEW. Well, I'm adding one more pro before I get to my con. My pros is also too is that at least they have creative writers who let the wrestlers do whatever they want to do, have their own gimmicks. They can free to be whatever they want. When John Moxley, he doesn't play the Dean Ambrose WWE crap anymore. He's more of a lunatic than ever. He's more edgier. You get what I'm saying? It has a very great content for AEW, and even though it has some cursing, it has that old school WWE ruthless aggression or attitude era type of vibe. They need to keep it like that, that TV-14 type of feel, But, anyways, I want to talk about the cons about AEW, you know what I'm saying? It's just my personal opinion. So, some people may talk about the promos is not good enough, and I somewhat agree. What I mean is, I somewhat agree. It's like at least they're trying. I mean, there is some good promos. Like for example, with MJF, he has a great promo. Nyla Rose, she has a great promo. It's very convincing too. Cody Rhodes is decent. You get what I'm saying? But what I mean is like they need to be as emotional as these characters are. But as far as Kenny Omega and Hangman Page being tag team champions, which is okay, but I feel like, it doesn't really make any sense how, Hangman Page don't want to click with the Young Bucks, but at the same time, he has this nonchalant type of alcoholic, I don't want to be bothered type of miserable behavior, and it looks like he's going to turn heel. And it's gonna make sense if Kenny Omega and Hangman Page lost the belt and he turned on Hangman. Kenny Omega is gonna be backstabbed by Hangman Page. I mean, it would make sense if he did the lariat on him or the buckshot or whatever. I don't know, but I thought the Young Bucks would have turned heel on Evolution, but like they gave it all. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense because they said it's nothing personal. They want to try to get the belt. Speaking about belts, though, you may hate me or you may love me. You may agree or disagree, but let's agree to disagree on this part. The title belts, I say for the women's belts, is so ugly. It looked like one of those 1930s, 1940s type of belts, you know. Looked like something that Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young would have been rocking back in those days. The 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 center of the belt is so small, you know. It needs to be a little bit big, just like how they do with like with TNA and WWE or whatever. It needs to be the front of it needs to be a little bit larger, the centerpiece. It looks like a fucking girdle, you know. As far as the world heavyweight belt, uh, I feel like it needs to be more gold. You know, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's still the beginning model, which is cool. But for me, it feels funny how the tag belts look a lot better than all these other two belts. But on the contrary, I'll say this: for the mid cards out there, like I feel like there should be another belt for the mid cards. You know, like an Intercontinental belt or a United States belt, or like how New Japan will have their IWGP Junior Intercontinental type of belts or WWE belts, as long as it's not on those 24/7 bullshit belts, like a hardcore championship belt, something like that, or a, I don't know. Like they need to make something creative, you know. I mean, you only have like so little on the table. Of course, your main inventors and your mid cards or whatever, you know what I mean? So you got tag team, you got women's division, main inventors, and mid cards. But the only people I feel like who don't have a belt for them is just the mid cards. That's just how I look at it. But again, it's still a fresh brand. It still needs time to grow. As far as that, they need more wrestlers. You know, get somebody who's either been in the game for a long time, someone who is more into the indies, who has a reputation. You know, I think that Jeff Cobb should come back and sign with AEW because he did pretty well. I've seen how he wrestles. He's really good. I'm glad, like I said, that Colt Cabana is signed with AEW. Like I said, bring people back in the game. Like Anja Khan, she needs to come and do some wrestling face with Awesome Khan. I think that would be great. Or some wrestlers like Luke Harper should be in it. Maybe Matt Hardy, because Matt Hardy's contract is pretty much expired from the WWE. I don't know. Anybody who's worth wrestling should be there. You know. I think it needs to have another brand. Like I think Tony Khan said that he's thinking about making another roster with the AEW, like how they do it Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or maybe Nitro, Thunder, or whatever. But the only thing that they pretty much have is, you know, Dynamite and Dark. You know, Dark is for people who are like in the lower cards, and AEW Dynamite is more for mid cards and like basically main eventers, which is all good. And the idea of watching it for free is cool, you know. Like, you know how they used to do it in the old days of the golden era from WWE and WCW, or the WWF days or whatever, or the WWF, was to bring Saturday night wrestling or Sunday night wrestling, like Heat, Velocity, or whatever type of feeling. and it can only run for maybe an hour or whatever. It could be on TNT on the weekends or whatever, on a YouTube platform. That'll be good too. But all I can say is this: is that they need more wrestlers. They need to update their belts. They need to do a little bit better with their promos. But as a whole, it's doing a lot better than fucking WWE, Raw, and SmackDown together. As far as SmackDown, I just couldn't take it seriously when it's on the Fox channel, and it looks really sloppy. It's boring. And Raw, I don't know, Raw is on some other shit, and people are mad about the fact that Goldberg is the Universal Champion, beat Bray Wyatt, which I don't understand why he had to come back and wrestle again, and things like that. It's just, what AEW is, again, is giving you something a lot different, where it's control of everybody's gimmick on their own terms, or how they're going to wrestle in their way, which I find it very unique. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's still brand new. I'm looking forward for whatever comes into the future in regards to more pay-per-view events. I'm looking forward to go to Newark, New Jersey to go to the AEW Dynamite show to see Blood and Guts for the first time in the arena of the Prudential Center. Like I said, I'm thrilled. And lastly, I hope to see more wrestlers in the future. I want to be surprised. They surprised me so much these last few months. So, and last thing I forgot to tell you is that they need to come to New York City. They need to come to either Madison Square Garden or the Barclays Center. If I had to go to Manhattan or if I gotta go to Brooklyn, I will do that. I'm not going to no fucking upstate New York. Fuck that. They need to come to the city, because I think next week they're coming to Rochester, New York, and that's too far. But I know where to go in Newark, New Jersey, so I was like, fuck it, because it's right next to New York, because it's the tri-state area. So it's all good, But anyways, they need to have their own version of WrestleMania. They need to have their own different title belts for the mid cards, or whatever the case may be. So again, it's still new. I'm not knocking it. Some people are, and they don't really understand that it's still in the development. So it's not like they're gonna get everything done in one fucking day. So as far as the work, I see that they're actually putting more initiative on there. And as far as Wednesday nights, it's the same concept on how they will do it on with WWE's best asset is NXT, and NXT is much better than fucking WWE Raw and SmackDown, their main rosters, So I think AEW is attacking the one that is much likely more sufficient for the WWE. So let's just be real. It's nostalgia, it's deja vu all over again, where they're doing the same shit that WCW was doing 20 something years ago with the Monday Night Wars. Now it's the Wednesday Night Wars between AEW versus NXT. And when I was a kid, I was focusing on WCW more than Raw. And then by the time it was SmackDown and all that, I paid attention to both, But by the time WCW was starting fucking up around the 2000s, it was like, okay, WCW is already done. Vince McMahon turned into the point where he gave money and invested, and he owned WCW and ECW as well. So I just hope AEW doesn't follow that path in the next 10, 20 years, So all I can say is this: as a wrestling fan, I'm glad that AEW is doing what they need to be doing, putting great wrestling, no filtered bullshit, and keep it hardcore. The way how wrestling fans remember when they were kids, from golden era to attitude era and ruthless aggression era type of feeling, you know. But it needs to be a good feeling where they need to constantly watch it every night. And the way how the ratings are, AEW has a better rating. They have a 4-point rating, while WWE has a 3-point rating. And NXT, like pretty much, I could say is that NXT is doing a little bit better than AEW. So it's still a challenge at the end of the day. So WWE is still not backing off completely, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So that's all I'm going to elaborate, guys. If you like AEW, I highly suggest y'all to keep tuning in. If you don't, fuck y'all, or better yet, whatever. That's y'all opinion. I'd like to know everybody's opinion. How do you feel about AEW? What do you expect from AEW in the future? Make sure you hit that bell icon, share, like, and subscribe to the motherfucking channel. Anyways, guys, SBX wrapping this up. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Bitch, get off of me, I'm bunking deep in Tennessee with my brothers from the 3. We quick to click